You know that feeling when a drama just wraps around you like a warm latte on a rainy day? Yeah, today we're going full throwback to one of the OG K drama sensations. Drama, please. Dun, 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 dun. I'm talking Coffee Prince. Yes, Coffee Prince. Released in 2007, Coffee Prince didn't just steal hearts, it changed the K drama genre. We're talking about gender bending romance, delicious coffee vibes, and enough emotional whiplash to make your head spin, but in a good way. Quick add-on, Coffee Prince made me like the Mini Cooper cars. In fact, till today I still hope to one day get a Mini Cooper because of Joy and Kyul from the K-drama. I don't know if it was just the car that was cool or Gunyu that was cool, or they were both cool, but I just ended up really liking Mini Coopers. So today we're going to be breaking the video into two parts, or should I say three parts. First, a juicy in-depth character analysis of our main leads, and second, a quick retelling of the entire drama, just to refresh your brain in case you've forgotten what the drama was about. So yeah, let's dive right into part one, character analysis. First, we're going to talk about Eun Chan, who was played by the absolutely brilliant Eun. First, I would like to apologize ahead of time for my pronunciation. So if it's not good, which I suspect they're really not that good, but just bear with me. Eun Chan is the queen of survival mode. She's tomboyish, works multiple jobs, and carries the entire family, and I mean the entire family, on her back, literally and emotionally. And because of her short hair and laid back style, people often mistaken her for a boy. But here's the magic. She never tries to fit into society's feminine mode, and that's what makes her so refreshing in my book. She's all about hustle, honesty, and a little bit of chaos. And in the universe where gender bending K-dramas exist, I think I haven't seen a performance that tops Eun Chan's. Like, she was so convincingly male. From the mannerisms to the dress to the face, everything about her just seemed so boyish. And she starts as someone who hides behind her boyish image to get by, but eventually opens herself up to love, even when it's messy and complicated. Secondly, let's talk about Cho and Kyul, played by the ever handsome, the Ajushi, the juicy Ajushi of K-dramaland, Gongyu. And I have to be honest, till date, Han Gyul remains one of my absolute favorite, in fact remains my absolute favorite Gongyu character. And a lot of people would like to say, oh no, it's Goblin and whatever, but for me, Han Gyul was played with such depth, and because also that was my first introduction to Gongyu. So who is Han Gyul? Han Gyul is rich, charming, and has never had to work a real job in his life until his grandmother, played by the national grandma, the national almini of Korea, Kim Young-ok. I mean, if you watch K-dramas, you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, so his grandmother drags him back to Korea and drags him into running the Coffee Prince cafe. At first, he's the kind of guy who is allergic to responsibility. Think romantic comedy playboy energy. Our first introduction to Jo Han Gyul is he's on the plane where he's playing cards, and then he's having so much fun, and then we get the introduction to his really nice apartment. I mean, I would give anything to live in that apartment. And then him just living a very good life, driving an imported very nice car. I mean, he was just screaming that chamber, like, I live a very good, I have tons of money in the bank. Oh yeah, so yeah. But for me, I think his arc is the most fascinating because it falls for Eun Chan while still believing she's a man. And you see him go from this, not carefree per se, but you see him go from this, maybe, should I say childish? You see him go from this childish, irresponsible person to becoming someone who really cared about the coffee shop and looked out for his employees. The way he portrays the internal struggle of, like, when he was caught between, or when he was really contemplating his love for Eun Chan, the internal struggle, peak 2000s K-drama angst. You need to see this. I mean, I think this runs from about episode 7 up until maybe episode 9, I think. Yeah, the angst was delicious. I mean, this is the kind of angst I look for in K-drama, but the main lead is just slaving away because of his emotions. And You know, it questions society, questions his identity, fights against his feelings, and then ultimately decides, you know what, forget labels. I just like this person, and you know, it goes for it. And it was huge for its time. The scene where it decides to like go like, I don't care anymore, and then just dives right in for that kiss with Eun Chan. That scene, I mean, I just randomly go on YouTube just to search it up and watch it because there's just something so raw and so emotional about that scene. Now let's talk about Choi Han-sung, played by Lee Sung-kyun of blessed memory. He's passed now. May his soul rest in peace. Han-sung is the second lead. He represents the safe choice, you know, the stable, comforting, and also sometimes too cautious to leap into love the way Eun Chan needs. And that was the first time that was my introduction to Lee Sung-kyun. And I remember Drama Beans. Drama Beans is a website. I used to read it a lot back in the day. I think it's still around. So Drama Beans, they go like episode by episode and sort of just give you recaps of ongoing dramas. And I remember them calling Iseok, giving him the name, the voice. There's just something very melodious about Iseok's voice. It used to seem, it seemed like it was coming right from the center cavity of his chest. Like there was just something so warm and so vibrant about his voice that just was like music to your ears and so calming. Anytime I see him, I just go with the voice in my head because of the nickname. Let's talk about Han Gyul, played by Chae Jung-an. Han Gyul is the artsy, free-spirited ex who floats back into Han Gyul's life like a beautiful hurricane. She's stylish, she's independent, and she's not afraid to call people out. I don't really know how I feel about Han Gyul's character because she was neither here nor there for me. I mean, what put you down? I don't know if I liked her or I didn't like her because, I mean, to me, I feel like she was playing around with Han Sung's emotions and then encouraging Han Gyul's. And finally, we have the Coffee Prince crew. We have Min Yup of blessed memory, Harim, Sun Ki, played by Kim Jae-wook. Yes, Kim Jae-wook. They are like the perfect blend of espresso shots. Each one brings comedy, warmth, and a little backstory that sort of rounds out the world. And then there is Eun Chan's family as well. To be very honest, I wasn't a huge fan of Eun Chan's family. The mother was too spoiled, buying things and losing expensive things. Like, your daughter is already so overwhelmed with paying the bills and making sure the family is okay. And then the younger sister, Eun was honestly not my cup of tea. All right, grab a coffee because here comes the whirlwind plot refresher. Eun Chan, mistaken for a boy, gets hired at Coffee Prince, a cafe that only hires good-looking male employees to attract customers. Han Gyul, a new boss, is trying to prove himself to his family, and they meet. Actually, before they start to work together, they meet first due to an accident where Min Yup snatches Yuju's bag, and then Eun Chan tries to get the bag back, and she gets the bag off. And Han Gyul tells her, come over to this hotel so I can compensate you. And then he says something very insulting to her, and she follows him around the entire day on his blind dates and like insisting that he apologizes for saying she was a scammer. And before that, actually, the first time they meet was when Eun Chan goes to deliver food at Han Gyul's house. But yeah, he didn't hear her then. So anyways, as she follows him around on this blind date, he eventually apologizes and then has this grand idea of asking her to pretend to be his lover so that his family would think he's gay and then stop sending him on all these blind dates. And from there, they start to hang out together, and then he tells her to come to Coffee Prince to work for him. And as they start to work together, Han Gyul starts catching feelings and goes through a full-on, trust me, he even goes to the psychiatrist to get drugs. He goes through this full-on identity crisis because he thinks Eun Chan is a man. And then cue emotional stares, late night conversations, and the unforgettable scene. I don't care what you are, I like you. That's it. I spoke about it earlier. For me, when you get to like episode 7, episode 8, it's like sort of like the midway point of a kid drama where you have the confession when the guy just goes in and says and just holds the girl and says, I like you so much, and then kisses her, and then you have the 3 different angle shots coming from here and here and here, just showing us the kiss from different angles. It was just there was something so beautiful and so touching about the scene. And where aside the the build up, the fact that Han Gyul was just ready to go for it. It didn't care anymore. It's just like, I love this person and I want to be with this person. Anyways, before then, Eun Chan has been struggling with whether or not to confess to Han Gyul about the fact that she was a guy. And then after they had the kiss, she then decides that, you know what, I'm going to go confess. But China Harim, the big-mouthed guy in the coffee shop, goes before her to tell Jo and Gyul that, I can't believe the entire store knows that Eun Chan is a girl and then she's playing everybody. But then again, I should say that Harim, he didn't know that Han Gyul had not found out yet. So he breaks the news to Han Gyul, and as expected, he was so upset. He was so livid. I think it was like 2 episodes of so much drama where he kisses her forcefully. I'm not a huge fan of that scene, but it's like, I preferred kissing you when I thought you were a guy. And he goes just like, you lied to me. Couldn't you just love me for me? It's all about money. Why did you have to deceive me? Why is it that everyone in my life deceives me? I mean, at that point, I don't blame him, because he thought that his dad cheated on his mom and it was a product of an affair. But then he found out that he was actually adopted. So I think, all of that was probably a lot for him. But anyways, he was so sad, and then they went crying, and then he fired her and said, don't come to the store anymore. Drama and drama, drama. Eventually, they slowly rebuild trust and they get back together. And Gyul, being so happy, suddenly springs it on Eun Chan and says, oh, I love you so much, let's get married. And Eun Chan is like, hell no, girl, I can get married. I need to build something for myself. And I'm like, yeah, go girl. And then she goes to Paris, France. I mean, Paris is in France. I know my geography. She goes to, was it Italy? Either way, she goes somewhere in Europe and becomes a barrister. And then comes back, and everybody was very happy. But by the end, love wins, the cafe thrives, and we all cry into our coffee cups because the ride is over. So whether you're rewatching Coffee Prince for the 5th time or just diving in for the first time, this drama remains a classic for a reason. It has heart, humor, and the characters feel very real. The acting was good, the storyline good. No acting old, no time wasting. It's just a very beautiful movie, and the feels is there, the angst is there, and the love is there. And obviously it's just something I really, really enjoyed. And if you haven't seen Coffee Prince and you watch K-dramas, or you've been watching K-dramas for a long time, or you're just starting to watch K-dramas, you should watch Coffee Prince. And I would advise, so if you just stay watching K-dramas, it's going to be very hard to find another drama that was as good as Coffee Prince, or especially in the gender bending, the gender bend genre of of dramas. There's just a few gender bending K-dramas. There's the Seo Kyo Han. My pronunciation is horrible. There's a Sakya Kwan scandal. The one with Park Mi-young and Seo Joong-ki and Park Hyo-jun. That was really, really good. No one could convince me that the people thought Park Mi-young was a guy. She looked so much like a girl too. She just, I could see in my sleep that she was a girl. And then there's the To the Beautiful You with Sully. God rest her soul. She was so pretty into The Beautiful You, but there was no way they could have convinced me that she was a guy. So for me, I think Coffee Prince did it the best, because Eun Chan looked like a cute guy. She was so good. And yeah, another additional tip before I go. I spoke about To the Beautiful You right now. And To the Beautiful You was the K-drama that introduced me to EXO. Yes, I heard and I took a look at Dio in To the Beautiful You, where they sang the intro to Mama. And let's just say the rest was history. I was so like, oh, what's this? What band is this? I need to know, what song is this? And then yeah, the rest became mystery. And being an EXO fan for what's now 12 years. Now tell me in the comments, are you team Han Gyul or team Hansung? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for more K-drama deep dives. Until next time, may your coffee be strong and your K-dramas be binge worthy. Peace.